Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to the Mamaprenuer Podcast. This is episode number 43. And this show is the anniversary episode. And so thank you guys so much for joining us for our anniversary episode. We got some fabulous ladies that I'm going to be spotlighting tonight. And I can't wait for you guys to hear more about them, more about their journeys, more about their businesses. This platform was built on supporting one another, networking with one another. And it's been so cool to have people come on from all over the country. At one point, this was just a straight Dallas show. Not anymore, guys. Not anymore. If you don't know me, my name is Robin Kelton. I am born and raised in the Dallas area. I work corporate by day, but I am a mamapreneur outside of that. So hairstylist, been a hairstylist this month, will make 25 years in the business, and now transitioning into salon coaching, spa owners, med spa owners. It's called Savvy Salon System. Marlika, you just gonna enjoy the sound effects tonight. There's more where that came from.
Yeah.
All right. Also, if you're looking at my necklace and hold on, child, this virtual background. Okay, it ain't like it don't want to show my earrings, but you know it is what it is. Y'all get the gist. Hold on, let me put it down a little bit more. All righty. And for those who don't know what I do, I am also a consultant with Paparazzi Jewelry, and my business name is called Rejuvenate Jewels with the Z Boutique. That is at Rejuvenate Jewels Boutique, Facebook and IG. Home of the $5 bling. So you see the pearls, we have plenty. The pearls, the bracelet, all the things, that's what we do around here. Okay. Also, I am a Mary Kay consultant, and the 11th was my anniversary. 15 years in Mary Kay. I love all things Mary Kay. So if you need you some skincare, come holler up here. This platform, again, I'm going to talk about it a little bit before I talk about Marlika. I mentioned a second ago that this is the anniversary episode. April 8th, 2021, this show had its first episode. We celebrated 2 years on Saturday. I am extremely grateful for our fearless leader, Kesha LaShawn, for giving me a chance. And I even want to take it a step further and to thank. Her name is Erica Allen. Erica Allen invited me to a networking event in 2020, and did not know that from going to a networking event to getting introduced to Kesha and Power Team, that we would be here 2 years later, 43 episodes later. I am extremely grateful for everybody who has watched, been a guest tonight, guests coming in the future. We booking all the way through September. That should tell you something. To be able to have people come on from all over the country. Thank you guys so much. I'm extremely grateful for this platform, for this opportunity to be able to not only encourage and you guys that who want to start businesses and things of that nature, but to be able to see the growth of the guest who have been on the show. One, I'm going to give her props to, because she got her own podcast now. And that is Steph the Educator. Her name is Stephanie Powell, good friend of mine who is on this platform as well. She was my very first guest on this show, and she now has her own podcast, Opposite Thursdays of Nice. Okay. All right. Also, speaking of guests who've been on the show, tonight's episode is being sponsored by Lord, mess up her little stage name, child. Hold the line. Okay, Unpredictable. I was about to say Unspeakable Jesus. Unpredictable Marcia Smith. She is the author of Unspoken Thoughts of a Broken Christian. I'm gonna say that this book is a true page turner. If you want to, just read something, you be like, you just can't put it down. This is the book. They will post the Amazon link to her book. Please support this lady. She is amazeballs. Marcia Smith, thank you for being a longtime supporter of the Power Team platform and of the Mamaprenuer brand. Love you to pieces. Love you to pieces. And so pre-sale for her book, because she's republishing the book, will start April 26th. So make sure you guys support Sia and her book. All right. So, all right. So, audience, before I go into Marlika and all the fabulous things that she does, you guys know I put you to work every episode. Today's no different. So, I need you guys to share the live broadcast. What else you doing but watching me and Marlika talk and my other guests? You might as well go ahead and share the live now. Get it over with at the beginning. So you're going to share this live broadcast on your platforms, and you're going to type hashtag shared or hashtag Mamaprenuer. I'm cool with either. I do a drawing at the end of each show because I'm always giving away something. So if you like free stuff, this is your time to share. You may win some of the free stuff. Okay? Just saying. Also, I kind of mentioned a second ago, this show is no longer a Dallas show. We have people watching from all over, people coming onto the show from all over. So put in the comments where you're tuning in from. I would love to know. We've already had someone on the show this year from Canada. Somebody's coming on later from Cayman Islands. We got Jersey in the house. We got Ohio in the house. We got Dallas in the house tonight. So, we trying to get, national, global. We speaking it into existence. Amen. So share the live broadcast and let us know where you're tuning in from. Okay. All righty. Few announcements before I before I go into Marlika. So make sure that you have subscribed to our YouTube channel at Mamaprenuer Podcast. Tune in to previous shows. You get to watch that. And all the future shows will be streamed directly through the YouTube. So make sure that you are subscribed. I'm also going to be posting little videos in there in between. And I may go live from there outside of the show. So you won't get those updates unless you subscribe. So Mamaprenuer Podcast on YouTube. And make sure you're following the platform as well on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and IG. All right. At Mamaprenuer Podcast. All right. For all updates and all the fun things. Okay. Lastly, my sorority, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, the Zeta Delta Sigma chapter, is doing a fundraiser next Saturday, the 22nd, here in Arlington, Texas, at the St. Jude Center. It's called Designer Purse Bingo. All you have to do is buy a ticket, and there are sponsorship opportunities available. So if you're a business owner and you want to sponsor, please make sure you click the link that is being posted below. We would love to have your support for our fundraiser. All right. All righty. And I have one more. So like tonight, Sia is our sponsor. That is called affiliate marketing. Mamaprenuer Podcast has slots open as we speak for any business owner. You don't quite have time to come onto the show, or you just want to be a sponsor. We have some slots available. So if you're interested in affiliate marketing and you would like to know more, shoot me a DM and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have and give more information. Okay. Thank you, Sia, for being our sponsor tonight. I'm going to talk about Sia probably more times tonight anyway, because I love her so much. All right. Now, introducing our first guest. So this year, I am doing a lot of things in my business with intention, which you should always do in your business. Okay. So I purposely reached out to entrepreneurs that I had been following over the past year or so. And I said, this year I wanted guests on the show who did not know me from a can of paint, but they trusted me enough to be able to help them get more exposure for their brand. And all three guests did just that. And so I'm very grateful for our first guest, Marlika Harris. of Hey Marlika. She is a virtual assistant. She does it all. She is a lady of many talents based in Columbus, Ohio. And you guys just show her some love in the comments. Give her some hand claps. Marlika Harris.
Hi, super excited.
I told you, Marlika, get ready for these sound effects, baby. All right. So, Marlika, tell everyone about your amazing brand.
Well, thank you for having me, Robin. I absolutely love your energy. I'm super excited to be here. So I am, as she mentioned, I started as a virtual assistant for over the past 3 years. I've transitioned now to virtual executive assistant. So I do
Love it.
a little bit higher level services now. Um, and I'm completely virtual. So I run my entire business from home. And that gives me the freedom to really live the life that I desire versus the life that some of us just accept. But I wouldn't take that route.
So, talk about your journey from the
um,
beginning. Like, what made you say, "Hey, I want to go into being a VA," things of that nature. Kind of how it's talk about how it all started.
so I feel like I've always like been an entrepreneur. I feel like probably for 10 years or more. And it really just came on to me like I feel like I just have like I'm kind of that person that I can just attract people to just my vibe and people I feel like I've just always bought in like an audience just um I've just always been pretty charismatic and I'm a people person. I'm personable. And I feel like I've always like served others. And so that and then being kind of internally, I'm a bookworm. So and so those two things really just like came together and I was actually in makeup for years. So I've done everyone's makeup that I can think of.
Yeah,
Um,
yours is beautiful. Hmm.
Thank you. So I did makeup forever. And it was just getting to the point where I actually had gotten into it for myself. I just enjoy doing it on myself. And then it kind of turned into a career. And then I don't know. I feel like sometimes life shifts and you have to just learn to pivot. And
Hmm.
that was really where I was. Like, I felt like it wasn't fun to me anymore. I felt like I still enjoyed doing it on myself, but that's originally why I was there. So sometimes we go to things that we think we want, and then you get it, and it's not always what you want. And in those moments is when you have to pivot or adapt. And yeah, so I sat down and I sat with myself and I was like, you're so intelligent. You have
Hmm.
I my full-time job, I had been in corporate. So I was like in executive assisting kind of in person anyways for years. But I always like dreaded being stuck in an office. I just like
Hmm.
um I couldn't deal with it. Like, I mean, I could deal with it. I dealt with it for years.
You just don't want to for a
Yes,
long
I was
period of
just like,
time. I got you.
"I can't do this." I like this isn't like it's literally deteriorating my mental health. So, I don't wanna do this. I don't wanna be here, and I told my husband, and he kept telling me for probably, like, 2 years, like, "Just quit your job," and I was like, just making excuses to why I couldn't leave, and, finally, I was making enough money to once I doubled that income from my job, I was
Wow.
like, "Okay, I don't need this job."
So how long ago was that?
I left my job last year, actually. So January was 1 year I had left my 9 to 5, completely. I put in my 2 weeks and I was done, and so in that moment and really, I had just started doing more executive level services, so I was getting more comfortable in my role as a VA, And I was just like, I'm gonna take a chance. I'm just gonna do it
Oh,
because
come on, stepping out on faith. I love it.
yes.
Because that's a leap, a big leap, because us being in a corporate world, it's guaranteed, if you will. So you're like, okay, that's a security net. If
Yes.
there's this thing don't work out, we have this as a security net. And sometimes even in your case, you was making the money, but it was still that fear there. And so I admire you for still taking that leap, even doing it scared, doing it afraid. And
Yes.
hey, you got your husband. You better listen to him. He said you better quit that job. You better listen. Listen to that man. No, just playing. But that's great. So talk about executive. So if people out there in TV land, podcast land may not know, executive virtual assistant, kind of explain kind of the services with that, what that entails.
So I do a lot of project management, copywriting. I work very closely with the CEO or business owners. So I'm kind of like their right hand. I typically am on calls and meetings with them. I'll send emails for them so I can speak on their behalf. So I work more closely with the CEOs and owners versus when I started out as a VA, I was more so just handling like customer service or
Mhm.
um, mostly administrative tasks, which I still do administrative tasks. They're just a little more elevated and in depth now. Um, and that's just building that trust with those clients. And I feel like I said, I've always been pretty personable. Um, I'm a good listener and I'm very organized. So it kind of really just aligned with who I am to really step into this role.
Okay. Talk about your copywriting services. Talk about the importance of why you should get your stuff copyrighted. It brought back my paralegal, my IP class, intellectual property class from paralegal school. I talked to someone today about trademarking, and I was like, man, this is bringing back memories. So talk about copywriting and just kind of the importance of why you should have your stuff copyrighted.
So copywriting is huge for pretty much, I mean, it's important in a lot of things, like you were just talking about with legal, going through legal things, having
Mhm.
good copywriting is absolutely necessary. But also in business, I work a lot with primarily women business owners. And so having that strong copywriting is going to tell your brand story. It sets the tone for your entire brand. So if someone comes to your page and, if you don't have a ton of video on there, they can literally sit, they can go through your page, they can read. And I feel like a big thing in social media right now is storytelling, especially
Mhm.
through carousels. So having that ability to have strong copywriting, that's going to really pull in your audience, connect with your audience, and essentially convert, which is what we all hope to do
Mhm.
by putting ourselves online, putting our businesses online. That's the whole point, is creating that conversion, attracting clients, attracting our audience, and attracting those dream clients, which I feel like is, um, it's really, um, everything is told through your copywriting. So even with blog posts, your captions,
Mhm.
your all of your, when you hire somebody to do the copywriting, they're able to create that copy so that it translates through all of your, everything is cohesive, whether they're on your website, whether they're on your Facebook page or whatever it may be. When they see those words, when they see those sentences, they can read it and they know it's you. When they are reading your words, they can hear your voice. So I feel like that's really strong copywriting, and that like really connects you with the person. And an example of that would be like Tabitha. Um,
Mhm.
when I just recently read her book, and as I was reading the book, I could hear all the honeys and chow. I was just like, I was like, it was kind of like, I don't know, like because I don't like to listen to things while I'm reading. So it was like I could hear her and I'm like, I need to like turn the volume down, but I was reading it.
Mhm.
So like her brand voice is very clear through her copy. Like you could read something and you would just know it was her.
Yeah. Her videos, man, are just
Yes.
inspirational. Love her videos. I mean, um, I tell people she is the true journey of your a true, kind of, what would you say? What do I call that? The process.
Yes.
Her journey, her story.
Oh my
20
gosh.
some odd years trying to get her brand out there, her name out there, videos and,
Yes.
acting and to see her now to finally get, her shine.
Yes.
It's an amazing,
And
good
reading her
transformation.
book, I was just like, I just didn't know her full story. Like I knew she had been like on her journey for such a long time, but to read it all was just it was very inspiring. And she
Yeah.
also has like vegan recipes at the end of each chapter, so I was like,
Yeah. My sister turned me on to Tabitha Brown because Tabitha Brown had that sandwich, some sandwich, Trader Joe's. It was some sandwich she was doing.
yes.
And I'm like, my sister would ask me about it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who's Tabitha Brown? To now
Yes.
know who she is and her passion for living a healthier lifestyle and that vegan life.
Yes.
We not quite there yet. The Lord's still working on us. We're gonna put it on Jesus. The Lord is still working on us. I'm such a
Yeah.
foodie. We'll get there. We'll get there at some
I
point.
love seafood so much. It's just like I don't know if I could give it up.
Yeah. And you know what? You do what works for you. Moderation. Moderation. I
Yes.
love it. So talk about if someone wants to set something up with you, set an appointment up with you. Do you do like a consult? Some people have like little quizzes before you even talk to them, whatever. What is that setup to do business with you? What is that setup to get started?
Yes. So you can actually reach out to me on Instagram right now. I just closed my old website 2 days ago. So my new one is set to launch in 3 days. So you can definitely follow me on Instagram. And if you have any questions, you can send me a message on there. And I'm happy to go over whatever it is that you feel like you need assistance with. But typically, how my process works is in 3 days when my website is back, I will do it's like a little questionnaire, and then a
Mhm.
discovery call. So once just to see, to make sure that everything that you're looking for, I can help you achieve. So I want to know that before going in because I hate to make false promises. Um, and I just want to make sure that I can help you before we go any further, especially with availability. As an executive assistant and working for myself, it's me right now. I do have two assistants that help me, but it's pretty much me. So
I got
um,
you. Yeah. So you still a
that's where my
solopreneur in the
availability.
sense. I get it. I get it. Even though you got assistants, it's
Yes,
still, solopreneur, and it's okay. Because in
yes.
time,
And I'm still like adjusting to having assistants. It's even weird that I could even like say my assistant. Like sometimes I feel so bougie saying that when I'm somewhere and I'm like,
honey, you got assistants.
I was like, I mean, I work very hard.
Yes, you have assistants, and it's okay because it's cool to say, hey, you know what? I need to delegate.
Yes. That's
You
like when
know,
you feel like that's really a huge step in business when you are strong enough yourself to say that you're ready to delegate, not just be able to. People think like, oh, I wish I could afford an assistant, but I really feel like you should stop getting in the thought of
affording one.
I hate to think like that. Like I can afford whatever I put my mind to. If I want something, I can go out there and achieve it and I can get it. So I feel like a lot of people feel that way. Like, oh, I can never afford a nanny, I can never afford an assistant. But really giving you an opportunity to make more. Like I'm able to accept more work because I have assistants. So yeah, just getting into that executive level of thinking of what I need to delegate. Like I can't do all of this. I'm not a copywriter. Let me stop pretending to be a copywriter. I'm not a graphic designer. Let me stop wasting 2-3 hours a week on graphics when I could hire somebody that could do all of this and while I help grow my business in another area. So
Now, is your target
and
audience
that's
still mostly women or corporations, or what is the target
yes.
audience now since you're
So
going executive?
typically I work with women in business. I started working just with I feel like starting out, I didn't want to immediately niche down. So starting out, I was just kind of taking all kinds of work. So I was working for a lot of businesses, media agencies, consulting firms. So I was doing a lot of work for them. And doing all that work, I learned so much, and it allowed me to hone in on what I truly want, who I truly want to work with. And so now I typically work for women. I personally love to work for women of color. Those are like I love getting on the meetings and it's just all Black women. It's so uplifting and inspiring for me. It's very empowering also, because we are so undermined in all kinds of workforces. But I feel like in entrepreneurship, like Black women are killing it. And so
Absolutely.
to be able to
Absolutely.
be a part of that and to get on those meetings and see them get on like your podcast and see these women, and it's very empowering. So that's just where my passion is, and so that's my target audience right now. And usually women that have already had their businesses established.
Yeah.
That's typically who I work with right now.
Okay. What's next, Marlika?
So I feel like for me, I am planning on kind of branching out and doing my own agency, because
Okay.
being an EA, I kind of work. A lot of the business owners that I work for, they actually hire a VA for me that works under me that helps me with things. So it's like, um, I feel like I'm almost already in that role.
Of having your
And
own
I love
agency.
to help women um, who just don't see. Um, I live in Ohio, so there's not like a lot of people, and this is not just here, it's a lot of people all over. We always think it's just where we're from, but it's really not. It's everywhere. And I feel like people when I would tell them like, "Oh, I work online, like I'm like really killing it," and they would just like roll their eyes at me, and I'd be like,
Oh
"Okay,
well, that's
well,
that's
stay in the
that's
call
your
center."
problem. That's a them problem.
Yes, and I would just be like, "Whatever." And
Yeah.
then yeah, and now like and like I would literally like I'm so passionate about it, like I could talk about it for hours, like just go on and on about it because and just like you with your podcast and everything, like it's just you fall in love with the journey, like you fall in love with the hustle, and it's just that's what's addicting. Like people are always like it's the money. No, it's not the money. It's really the freedom that comes with the money that you can make, but it's really
Yeah.
just like now I would like I said, my corporate job, I hated going to that job. I would literally like I just would dread like every day I would talk to my husband like I'm not going in today. I just don't want to go. And he would just be like just go, like either go or don't go, like make up your mind. And I'm just like and now I'll probably work some weeks I'll work like 60 hours a week. Like I'll be working like a madwoman sometimes and it doesn't even phase me. Like, I don't even care. It doesn't feel like work to me.
You will want to know why? Because it's something you enjoy doing.
Yes.
That corporate job, you was just there for the check, child. You wasn't trying to.
Yes.
You wasn't thinking about nothing else. You're like, okay, we get paid on the 15th and the 30th. Okay. I'm
Yes,
just here so I don't get fined. Okay, that's it. You just here
exactly.
just to get the check, and go on. But it's something you're passionate about, and it's something you enjoy doing. So you don't
Yes.
mind working 12-hour days. You don't mind, putting in 60 hours a week. You don't mind that
Yeah.
because it's something you have a passion for, and you know the end result. So, you know, so it's all good. And so I see the passion that you have for what you do. And so I love that, and you're smiling. You weren't smiling at the office. You're like, oh Lord, what time
Right.
can we get off? Okay. You're looking at your clock. So,
Right.
but tell everyone again, how can you be reached? How can you be followed? If they want to book something with you, go ahead and tell them one more time for the people in the back.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram. That's typically where I am. And that is at Hey Marlika. That's Hey and then my name, Marlika. My website is also heymarlika.com. If you want to book a discovery call or need anything, any type of assistance with your business, as I mentioned, I do have assistance for administrative VA as well. I do more executive assistance at this time, but feel free to send me a DM on IG. I will respond. And yeah, I
Awesome.
appreciate you guys all coming and joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you so much, Marlika. I appreciate you for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you for
I
having me. I'm so grateful you
absolutely,
reached out.
absolutely. So yes, I will be in touch with some other things, and to be able to collaborate with you with other things. But thank you so much for coming on. I know that God is going to continuously bless you and your brand and your business. And if an agency is what you're talking about, girl, he heard it. And we speaking that thing into existence tonight on the Mamaprenuer Podcast. So I
Yes.
can't wait to hear all about it.
Thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate you.
All right. I'll
Thank
be
you
in
guys.
touch. All righty, y'all. Give Marlika some claps in the chat. She did such an amazing job. Support her. Support our businesses. Okay. All righty. Marlika was amazing. All right. So my next two ladies that are coming on, we got the fabulous Wendy, and then we have Chelsea coming on, and we're gonna have a little discussion. So once they come on, we get to
Hello,
chit and
hello.
chat. So there's Wendy, there's Chelsea. Hey,
Hey.
hey. All righty. So hold on. Okay. All right. Don't mind me. So for this segment of the show, I like to call this the Coach's Corner. So for you Dallas folks, that used to be a club. I don't even know if that's still around. Anyway, the Coach's Corner. So you are looking at three coaches in different areas of life. And I'm gonna start with myself, and we're gonna go around the room on all three of us in what we do in our prospective coaching businesses. Coaching and consulting fields are growing. I love that we have so many out there. You can truly be a coach in anything.
Okay.
If you are an expert at something, child, you are a coach in
Yeah.
some capacity.
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Robin Kelton, and I am the owner of Savvy Salon Systems, where I coach existing hair salon owners, barbershops, estheticians, med spa owners. You can be a salon suite, boutique salon, what have you. Long as your business is, legal, and and you've been around. It's not so much a new stylist, okay? And so my business, we transform your business to the next level. As salon owners, we don't get I'll say this, kicking it back to beauty school. Beauty school don't teach you the business side of it. It's like one chapter in theory, bringing it back 25 years, one chapter that talks about the actual business piece. Don't talk about politics behind the chair. Something maybe along those lines, but that's it. So it doesn't really talk to you. So if you decide to go independent, it doesn't really talk to you about that piece. And so I love being able to, meet salon owners and give them perspective of what I do. But that is Savvy Salon Systems. Follow us on Facebook, IG, and TikTok. All right. That's about my coaching business. All right. Next, the fabulous Wendy. Wendy, tell everybody your last name. I'm gonna mess it up.
Perdomo, Wendy Perdomo, and that's a tough act to follow. So I'm the executive leadership and life coach and founder of Coaching Women of Color. And my ministry on this planet is really to support professional women of color to elevate into the spaces and places that they want to anywhere professionally. There is less than 4% of women of color in C-suite chief roles. And I have a mission to change that during my lifetime on this planet. And so I have a 20-year career in leadership development and training, 6 years as a certified coach. And I am also a mom. I'm divorced, and I also have a foot still in the 9-to-5 space while I run my coaching practice and consulting practice after work. So I also do leadership training for nonprofits. And I'm excited to be here, Robin. Very excited to be here.
Thank you so much. Isn't it just great to have that pinky toe still in the corporate? All right,
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yay, Wendy. Yay, Wendy. Yes, Kesha. Kesha talking about your accent.
That New York accent.
I said the same thing, Kesha, when I talked to her online. I said, all right. You wasn't expecting that accent, Just kidding. And then we have the amazing Chelsea Hampton of Careers Equipped. Tell everybody about you and your fabulous brand.
Yes. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you, Robin, for having me on tonight. I'm really excited. I'm the founder of Careers Equipped. I started my business. It'll be a year in 2 weeks. I started it because I am my business. I am my clients. Everything that my clients go through, I've been through. I literally graduated from college and jumped around in my career to only realize that it was underpaid and underserved. I took the skills that I had and I transitioned myself into corporate America. And when I did that, I said, you know what? There are other Black young women going through this as well. So I felt like I needed to serve in this capacity to help other young Black women. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about tonight. So we're going to not only talk about our businesses, but we're going to just have a little roundtable discussion just to talk about the coaching arena and all the fun and joys of coaching. Okay. Yay. All righty. So, how long is you guys' coaching programs? Everybody's different, or yours, anybody can go.
Mine is 6 months. I have a 6-month program.
Okay, Chelsea.
Mine's is 3 months.
Okay, mine's the same, 3 months. As far as, and I'll talk about the current job market. You just touched on it a little bit, Chelsea. How do you keep your clients that are looking for work encouraged? Because the market we have today, we're going to speak broken English today because y'all, we ain't a button-up show.
Absolutely.
The companies today ain't paying along with the current economy, if you guys are feeling my drift. So when those people are searching for something, or if they're told that's too much, you're asking for too much, or whatever. Because I just told someone, the way things going, we're going to be everybody going to have to make 6 figures just to live. That's going to
Absolutely.
be $100,000 going to be the bare minimum here in a minute.
Yeah. Well, I'll go.
Yeah.
Good.
So for me, my clients, I solely focus on confidence. Because that's something that I struggled with heavily. And I still do sometimes. But if your confidence is not there, you're not going to make it in any field. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have. It doesn't matter what certifications you have. It doesn't matter about any of that. If you don't have the confidence in yourself, how can you sell yourself to get more money, to get the position you want, to transition from a career that you've never been in to a new career? Or even to, I like to call it, fire your boss to become an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneurship is the trend right now, because Black women, we are killing it. However, there are a lot of Black women who they don't want to be entrepreneurs. So I like to tell my clients that as well. It's okay if you don't want to be an entrepreneur. Let me work with you so that way you can elevate in your career and grow without being that entrepreneur, without feeling that pressure. So
love that. Love that. Wendy.
I love the clapping. So I share 3 things. The first is one of the things I tell women of color, particularly, I have a tool around navigating your career as a person of color. The first is that closed mouths don't get fed. Right.
Absolutely.
So if you, you have to be able to know your worth. You have to be able to ask for what you want. So do the research around what the role that you're seeking is paying in the market, and be able to leverage that through conversations with a mentor or a coach. Right. Like, I believe in role playing. I believe in asking for what you want, having the courage to come to a conversation and understanding what it is that you require in order to do the work at scale. And then the other thing is relationship capital. I don't think we as women of color do. We don't look at the people we know within our inner circles and utilize them to help us gain traction in a particular role.
Agreed.
So if you know people, utilize your people to help you, to speak on your behalf, especially if they're people in bigger roles within the organization. It'll be really, I always say relationship capital is one of the things that you also have to make sure you leverage. So those 3 things: know your worth, closed mouths don't get fed, relationship capital, and leveraging mentors. Mentors and sponsors are really, really important, because mentors will help you right throughout the conversation. They'll help coach you, and they'll help tell you what you should, what you can ask for. A sponsor is going to speak your name into the room. Right? They're going to talk about you and say what the value of the work that you do, so that you get that seat at the table. So I think those are 3 key ways in which people can stay inspired, can ask for what they need, and get paid the money that they deserve.
Absolutely.
Come on, Wendy. Passing the collection plate for Wendy. Do you hear me? I love it. Love both of you ladies. You said something. I love just being in the room. This show came about from being in the room. I didn't know it was the room yet, but it was the room. And then the connections made, so on and so forth. That's why I thanked my ladies at the beginning, Kesha and Erica, because we wouldn't be here. So yeah, I'm a firm believer of being in the room. You just never know, and utilizing, because we all got friends in different areas that know different things that can guide us hey, if they don't know somebody, okay, I know somebody else who can do this. You need a job in HR, okay, I know someone in HR. So within your prospective programs, I'll start with Chelsea. So talk about that process. So if someone reaches out to you, they say they want your services, kind of walk me through what that looks like, how you would get them kind of onboarded.
Okay. So first and foremost, I do offer a free discovery session because I don't take on everybody. because everybody is not ready. I am a different consultant / coach. I'm all up in your business. I'm texting and calling you to make sure I'm your accountability partner. In a sense, I'm your best friend for 3 months. Because if you sign up with me, we are going to hit your goals and you're going to be exactly where you want to be at. But we'll start off with that. And once you commit, then we go through personality tests. We go to looking at your resume, your cover letter. We do application trackers. We also do interview prep. So if you have an interview come up, we're prepping for that specific interview. I offer mock interviews. I do 5 to 10 year plans. We go through that whole entire process to make sure that you are ready for the next step. Also, I give all of my clients confidence homework. They get homework every time. And I require them to have that homework completed 72 hours before we meet.
I love it.
And I'm on them because like I said in the beginning, if your confidence is not there and you don't believe in yourself, I can't help you. No one can help you but you. And I'm not a licensed therapist or anything, but I do believe in therapy. And going through this process can be very mentally and emotionally draining. So I recommend my clients to go to therapy if, they're not already in therapy, especially when they're going through a transition. So that's pretty much my process. And if they're local, we meet up in person. It's very informal. If we're online, it's informal as well, but we're not meeting in person, obviously. And towards the end, they graduate. And we just kind of go from there.
Okay, I like that. Believe it or not, Chelsea, you're a therapist.
Yep.
May not have the life.
Yep.
You're a therapist because, again, kind of how I mentioned with a person's job hunt.
Yeah.
If it's not quite going the way they would like, they're going to have that emotional roller coaster. It's going to be that way. And so, of course, they're going to come to you and talk to you about, A, B, and C is not working out.
Yep.
But you over there being, licensed professional counselor without the professional license, Chelsea, in the process. And that's okay because they appreciate you later for it. And I love that you keep your clients accountable.
Yes.
I love that piece. And talk about your specialty. So I know is it individuals? Is it just, if there's someone fresh out of college, because everybody has their niche.
Yeah. So starting off, I was helping everybody. But I've niched down to Black women. Black women who are looking to transition out of one career to another, or if they're trying to get promoted in their current role, or if they're trying to leverage their current role to be an entrepreneur. But overall, it's Black women.
Okay. Amazing. Yep. Amazing. Okay. So Wendy Wind.
Yeah.
Talk about your program, which I love the name of yours.
Thank you.
Your program, how people will get onboarded, kind of that beginning piece of getting into your program and then your specific niche. I know it's women of color, but specific if it's a certain profession, things of that nature.
No, I take on women of color from all industries, nonprofits, corporate, wherever they may find themselves and are seeking the support of a coach. And I have a similar process in terms of my onboarding. You have an opportunity to do a 30-minute discovery call with me. And during that call, I really get present to whether or not you're coachable and what has you looking for a coach right now at this time in your life? Because oftentimes I have it that people have been sort of noodling on a coach or they don't know what a coach is. It's really an opportunity to discover how my sort of flavor of coaching is and whether or not we will be aligned. I also, once I onboard a client and there's a decision that they want to move forward with me, we do assessments as well. There are 2 assessments that I give. I give the positive intelligence assessment, which is the it really describes the type of saboteurs that show up in conversations, because oftentimes confidence or a lack of confidence comes from you not feeling like you're capable. And so there's an actual tool called the saboteur test, and it lets you know what flavor of saboteur exists. You could be restless, you could be a hyperachiever, you could be hypervigilant, a people pleaser. And that allows me to understand what are the vices that are come up in our coaching conversations that I'm going to have to hold you accountable and check you on when you and I are doing these coaching conversations, because I'm also there to make sure that your needs are met, right? You make declarations around things that you want to work with on a coach. So my goal is to make sure you fulfill on those, right? And the other assessment that I give is the DISC assessment, because oftentimes it helps my clients understand effective communication strategies so that they have the ability to ask for what they want. Everything that you want and need is already within you. So it's really just, getting all that gunk out, all that negative talk and mindset. So that's one of my specialty areas, Robin, is really supporting my clients with getting rid or elevating above that negative self-talk. And then I also utilize tools like an action planning process. And I do 6 months because when you are stuck in habitual behaviors and patterns of thoughts, oftentimes it takes a while for us to break through that. Right. It's not a one and done. And we have to go at it a couple, for quite some time. And so 6 months allows me to really be able to see the traction, the change in your mindset, the smashing of the goals. We make sure that you have rewards tied into your goals. And so you get 18 sessions over the course of those 6 months. And so, so that's my program.
Okay. Amazing. Okay, for mine, I am 3 months. Of course, I schedule. We're a lot similar in some senses. I'll shorten mine. So, of course, we're doing a discovery call as well. I'm with you, Chelsea. If you local, I like to meet you in person. I'm that person that hated Zoom during the pandemic. I don't know about you, because after a while, because you was on it all the time. So, it's cool to be in person with someone and kind of get that vibe in person. You can get it through Zoom, but I think it's even cooler in person. And to kind of get an idea of what, in this case, what the stylists need to work on in their businesses. Again, a lot of times in beauty school, they don't teach you that piece. So if you need to work on processes and procedures, if you need to work on marketing, if you need to work on, your bookkeeping, whatever, we get down to the nitty gritty within the program and take those steps to kind of help you get over the hump of whatever that is. I like to see what's the problem? What problems are you having? Because a lot of times owners don't have time to sit and kind of think of that because they got so much other things going. So the cool part about having me, I'm that, person that can come in and kind of assist and help and navigate you in the right direction with your business. Kind of the work smarter, not harder mindset. Especially when you're solo, salon suite owners.
Right.
You have your own salon suite. Most of us, it's just us. So you not only you got your books, you got, you need to get supplies, you need to get all these things. If you have a smaller salon, a boutique salon, you have you got employees to add to the equation, and that's a whole nother umbrella. So but it's again pretty much the same as you guys as far as doing. I do the DISC assessment too. Man, that was my church at our women's conference that got introduced to me. I'm like, what is this?
Powerful.
And then to see where you stand, or even with my coach with the saboteurs assessment to find out, where you fit. That. So amazing. Tell the audience why having a coach is important. Why? Because some people see, oh, just coaching. Oh, she's just trying to make some money.
Yeah.
Why is coaching? Because there's more to that. Just, you talking about what the investment is.
Right.
Some people go directly to that investment. You didn't gave a whole presentation in the discovery call, Wendy. Chelsea talked about all the ways that you can help them. Wendy has talked about her value of her business and why you should work with her. Talk about the importance of why you should have a coach in your life as an entrepreneur or as someone who is wanting to, look for another position or transition into entrepreneurship.
I can jump in. I'll be
jump
brief.
in. Come on, girl.
I'll say that the level of accountability that you get with a coach is different than what you're going to get with a friend. Right.
Absolutely.
Oftentimes you can tell a friend of yours, this is something I'm up to, but they can also collude with you, meaning like, the person who you are right now, when you're really trying to up level and you're really trying to change and make a breakthrough in your life, personal transformation requires a different level of support and accountability. And I think that's what coaches are. We relate to you as a higher self. We are not going to take the bull. We're not going to be enrolled in your sob stories or your saboteur or your victim. We're going to remind you of what you said you wanted to do, and we're going to hold you accountable. So, my sister here, that is my fellow coach, talked about accountability and how she does it. She calls people and she makes sure that folks are, following up on their practices. When they work with me, they have practice areas too. And they have to make sure that the following call, we talk a little bit about how'd you do? What got in the way? What do we got to adjust in order to make sure that you're on this path? So I think the level of accountability that you get with a coach is unprecedented. And then you start to make real shifts in your life, not just people who talk about it and say they want to change. This is an opportunity for you to really change.
Yeah.
Take action.
I agree.
Take action, honey. You talk about it all day. A year didn't went by. You still talking.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, Chelsea.
So I think you need a coach when you're ready because it eliminates you wasting time.
Absolutely.
Life is short. So you never know when it's going to be your last day. If it's a goal that you have and you don't know where to start, but you dreaming about it, you sleeping on it, you daydreaming about it, get a coach in whatever that may be. Like you said, Robin, you have the salon. We have entrepreneurs, we have professionals. It's coaches for everything. So that coach will hold you accountable. Like I said, I'm the kind of coach, I'm all up in your business. Absolutely. I am in your business because that's what you hired me for. Yes, you have the investment factor of it. But when you have a coach that's very passionate about what they do, they're going to go above and beyond to make sure that you're reaching the stars, and just going into that process. If I had a coach when I was going through what I was going through, I would be well beyond where I'm at now, well beyond. But I didn't know anything about coaches, or people hear about coaches and they're like, oh, that's a scam. What are they going to tell me? They can't help me. It's just like how people think about therapists. I don't need a therapist. We are 3-in-1. We do everything. I've had clients who they call me and they like, I don't want to do this no more. And I'm like, oh, hold on. Yes, you do. We gonna do this. Cause what's going on? What happened? Oh, well, this happened. Okay, well, we gonna figure it out. Did you call? Did you look for resources? No. Okay, well, we're not gonna self-sabotage today. We're not gonna do that. So, and a lot of Black women in particular, we self-sabotage. It's very easy for us to do because it's done to us already. This is not built for us. So it's easy to go in and dim our light. Like I tell my client, don't dim your light. Go in and show your light. If it's too much for them, then we're gonna move on. Yeah, that's okay.
That's it. Not your people.
Okay. That's right. It's not for you, And I had to learn that going through my process. My background is in federal government. So I had to learn that. It was barely any of me there. And I felt I was challenged every single day. I would come home crying some days,
Wow.
And I had to realize, I had to realize that wasn't for me. It was something bigger for me. And like I said, I'm still in my 9-to-5 corporate, and it's cool. It's cool. But it gives me the opportunity to build my business and help other women like myself, so.
I love it. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming on tonight and gracing us with your presence. Make sure you guys follow these ladies and their businesses. If you are wanting their services, please reach out to them. We've been posting their social media, websites, all the things. So thanks to Marlika. Thanks to Wendy. Thanks to Chelsea for coming on. We will see you guys in 2 weeks for another episode of the Mamaprenuer Podcast. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.